there are rumors swirling around saying that Candace Owens actually secretly behind closed doors didn't like Charlie Kirk at all. So we'll get into this reaction of Tim Pool on his show talking about this whole situation. But before we do, a quick reminder to like this video and to subscribe to the channel as well for more videos like this.
Candace Owens hated Charlie Kirk. And I was surprised to hear this, but I received a tip. Several prominent conservatives have confirmed to me and my crew that Candace Owens had been going around shortly before he died, within the months before his death, saying that she hated him. Now, I wonder if she really hated him. Maybe she was just scornful, second wife syndrome. Maybe she actually really loved him, but when he chose Erica over her, she became resentful and angry, sour grapes, trying to find a reason why something was wrong with him. And she chose a different life. I look at everything she's doing now. She's attacking Erica Kirk directly, a grieving widow who has to now deal with a life without a husband and a father for her children. And the question is, why would Candace do this? Why would Candace accuse Turning Point staffers, Charlie Kirk's best friends, of being in on the plot to murder him or even attack his wife? If she really cared about Charlie as much as she claims, she'd want to protect his legacy. She'd want to create a better future, or at least help in whatever way she could, create a better future for Charlie's children than his grieving widow. Instead, she has continually, over 3 months, attacked the organization and told people to stop supporting them, just destroying Charlie's legacy. Right now, there is one person that damaged Charlie's legacy more than anyone else, and that is the assassin who took his life. And his life substantially more important than his legacy. He had kids, he had a wife, he had friends. But this was a tremendous strike to his body of work outside of himself. That's not to be crude. Obviously, the killing of Charlie Kirk, first and foremost, is the most horrifying thing. But it was to stop him. Second on the list of individuals who are doing everything in their power to stop what remains of Charlie Kirk's dream is Candace Owens. No one doing more damage. No one causing more harm to his family. Certainly the assassin caused more harm to his family than anybody else. But isn't it weird? Candace Owens now going after his widow in more ways than one. She said at first there were only 3 people, 3 individuals. I believe it was 3. She mentions her husband and she mentions Erica Kirk. And now that Erica Kirk has appeared on Fox News saying, please stop, to these people making hundreds of thousands of dollars per episode, Candace responded with a smile on her face saying, it's about me. That's a quote. Said it, I think 3 times. It's about me, she said, while this poor woman suffers and has to figure out a future for her children with no father. Candace Owens smiles, and she puts out a tweet saying, it's absurd that you think because you're grieving, I can't criticize your organization. Candace Owens did hate Charlie Kirk, but I don't know that it was raw hatred. I think it was, I don't want to say sour grapes, right? But that's basically what it was. You listen to the way that Candace talks about Charlie Kirk, and it's clear that she actually deeply loved him. But then why be so angry? Why go after his family now? Why go after his friends and his company? Because she's scorned. Charlie didn't choose her. And in the lead up to his death, no one knew what was going to happen. She had been going to prominent conservatives privately and talking about how she hated him. Again, I don't think she really hated him. I think she loved him. But what more can be said? He left. He chose somebody else. And so here we are. The latest news, of course, Candace Owens tears into Erica Kirk and questions her running Turning Point USA. I could not imagine what it would be like if someone were to do this to my family. I could not imagine what Erica must be going through. And you can criticize the way she acts or think she's not grieving properly, but we all know Charlie is dead. And Charlie was the father of Erica's children. So you may think whatever you want about Erica and her attitude or whatever it might be. Maybe you think she's cold or anything like that, but think about her kids. Don't Charlie's children deserve a future? Wouldn't that be the best thing we can do for Charlie? I don't understand why Candace feels that harming Charlie's children is the way to honor him, or I don't understand what makes her think that people actually will support her tearing down the last bit of support structure for Charlie's children. I find it to be disgusting.
And that's the thing, right? We're talking about their children and the fact that they're going to wind up growing up where they could have maybe have taken over or been a part of TPUSA if it actually lasted a decent amount of time. Like I said, whether it will thrive or not or continue to exist the way that it is, I mean, the jury's out on it. But the reality, though, is that that could have been something that Charlie Kirk built to basically outlast him in a way that his kids could then go and take that over or do something with it and continue that legacy. That's what we as parents are generally striving to do, is to build something that will last, build something that will outlast us for our kids, do something in this life to benefit them. And yet Candace is tearing that down. This is not what friends do. Real friends would not sit there and tear down the legacy, tear down his family, tear down his wife, tear down the organization over and over just because of the fact that she's apparently just asking questions. That's not what that does. And once again, there was no person behind COVID when she talks about that. Oh, it's just like COVID when that was happening. There's no person specifically behind that is the one responsible for it. There's no family that's behind that curtain, right? But there is for Charlie Kirk. And so you can't just compare this to some arbitrary or benign thing that doesn't have a soul. COVID's not a person. It doesn't have a soul. Charlie Kirk was a person. He has a soul. And for you to sit there and do this, causing strife in his family is just absolutely wrong. But I also know for a fact that this is not going to age well for Candace as well. It can only last so long. The tide is turning. People are waking up. Sides are shifting. We're seeing it happen because now everyone's like, oh, wait a minute. Now it's a little bit different. Many of you might even remember on Megyn Kelly where she was talking about the situation with Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro talked about the things that Candace Owens was mentioning, and Megyn Kelly basically said, well, I wasn't really that aware of it, and then goes on later, maybe like a week later, to say, oh, wait, you know what? Actually, she didn't say anything about Erica. She didn't demean her or attack her in any way. Where is she at now? Because I haven't heard any statements from her at all. What does she have to say to this situation, knowing full well that that is exactly what Candace has done? She's not going to stop. I put up a video just recently talking about that, but she's not going to stop at Erica's request. There will be nothing that will stop Candace from doing this because she is extremely, extremely arrogant and stubborn. So she does not care what Erica says. She never has. So how many people is this going to actually change given all of this information that we're seeing at this point, right? It was very clear, as Tim Pool mentioned, that she obviously had some kind of feelings towards Charlie. The way she talks about him, the text messages I showed on a few videos ago, there's clearly something going on, or was something going on between the two of them at that time. And literally the second that Charlie Kirk and Erica started dating, you saw Candace get married to George Farmer after like 18 days. If you haven't seen the George Farmer interview, I highly, highly advise you check it out, where he literally tells the person that they had no romance whatsoever from the moment they met to the moment they got married. You want to know about what is a political or monetary gain marriage? That's a perfect example right there. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about this whole situation with this video. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel as well, and I will catch you guys on the next one.